Zilpha Marsh.
At 4 o'clock in late October, I sat alone in the country schoolhouse back from the road mid stricken fields. An eddy of wind blew leaves on the pane and crooned in the flue of the cannon stove, with its open door blurring the shadows with the spectral glow of a dying fire. In idle mood, I was running the planchette. All at once, my wrists grew limp, and my hands began to move rapidly over the board until the name of Charles Guiteau was spelled, who threatened to materialize before me. I ran from the room bareheaded into the dusk, afraid of my gift. And then the spirit swarmed. Chaucer, and Caesar, and Poe, and Marlowe, and Cleopatra, and Mrs. Surratt, all with messages. Mere trifling twaddle, Spoon River agreed. You must talk nonsense to children. And what if I see what you never saw, or never heard of, or never had a word for? I must talk nonsense when you ask me what it is I see.
Eugene Carmen, Clarence Fawcett.
Rhodes a slave, selling shoes and gingham, flour and bacon, overalls and clothing for 14 hours a day for 313 days for over 20 years, saying yes'm and yes sir and thank you over 1,000 times a day, and all for $50 a month. And living in this stinking room in the rattle-trap commercial, and compelled to go to Sunday school and listen to Reverend Abner Pete 104 times a year for more than an hour at a time, because Thomas Rhodes ran the church, as well as the store and the bank. So that morning, as I was tying my necktie, I suddenly saw myself in the glass. Hair all gray, face like a sodden pie. So I cursed and cursed. You damned old thing! You cowardly dog, you rotten pauper! You rode the slave! Until Roger Bowman thought I was having a fight with someone, and he looked in through the transom just in time to see me fall on the floor in a heap from a broken vein in my head.
The sudden death of Eugene Carmen put me in line to be promoted to $50 a month. And I went home and I told my wife and children that night. But it never came. So I thought old Rhodes suspected me of stealing the blankets that I took and sold on the side for money to pay for a doctor's bill for my little girl. Then, like a bolt, old Rhodes accused me and promised me mercy for my family's sake if I confessed. So I confessed, and I begged him to keep it out of the papers, and I asked all of the editors, too. But that night at home, when the constable came and took me, all of the papers wrote me up as a thief, except for the Clarion, because old Rhodes was an advertiser and wanted to make an example of me. Oh, you know how my children cried, how my wife pitied and hated me, and how I came to lie here.
Zenas Witt.
I was 16, and I had the most terrible dreams, and specks before my eyes and nervous weakness, and I couldn't remember the books I read, like Dave Connor, who memorized page after page, and And I was embarrassed and stammered my lessons, and when I stood up to speak, I'd forget everything I had studied. And well, I read Dr. Weiss's advertisement and read there everything in print and about the dreams which I couldn't help, just as if he'd known me. So I knew I was marked for an early grave. And I worried until I had a cough. And then the dream stopped. And I slept a sleep without dreams, here on the hill, by the river.
We are forever linked to Spoon River, our lives forever interlaced, sleeping gently on these hills. We, your brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, sons and daughters, merchants, buyers, clergy and congregation, masters and laborers, rich, poor, weak, strong, petty, and generous. We are sinners all who seek forgiveness for ourselves. Any sin beyond sin is a sin of blindness to other souls. So walk together, fellow travelers, and sing in chorus and chant to the dawn of life, that holy life. For every soul is a world of itself, making its own music, night and day.
The secret of the stars.
Gravitation.
The secret of the earth.
Layers of rock.
The secret of the soil.
To receive seed.
The secret of the sea.
The journey